Hello again, welcome back to the X-Wing System Open Series Hanover for round 2. The players are already setting up their stuff. On the left side we have Marco Gonzalez from Germany. He's playing 4-row squadron veterans gunboats with adaptability, harpoon missiles, long-range scanners, all equipped equally. And on the left side we got Mark Kanisch from Germany as well. He's playing NIM with adaptability, auto blaster turret, extra munitions, harpoon missiles, ion bombs, thermal detonators, trajectory simulator, genius, guided ships, and the Havoc title. Then a Crimson Squadron pilot, a BSF bomber that you don't see that often. Also with trajectory simulator, he's got proton bombs, ardent silos, so lots of bombs. Deflective plating, and in the Shithapede shuttle AP5 with Sabine Wren M9G8 and ion bombs. So a lot of ordnance on both sides.
So what do you think? Does NIM have a free upgrade slot left? Or is that all of them?
I think he's full.
But is it all the eggs in one basket?
Yeah, probably. I think he's equipped quite well for everything that Mark has to face. So he's got range damage with harpoon missiles. He can get up close to aces, for example, with his auto blaster turret. He's got lots of bombs, trajectory simulator, which is always quite the pain in the ass. If you can shoot your bombs 5 forward and there's no room for escaping.
So it's the missiles against the bombs. No.
And missiles.
A few.
Yeah, just 2.
But in this case, Mark is in luck with his PS8 because his opponent only has PS4s. If he had the matchup from last game, it would have been a whole lot harder.
Yeah, that's true.
To keep those bombs on target.
Yeah. The good thing is here with long-range scanners, you can choose first in the first round which ship you want to engage. My bet is he's going on NIM first, or he tries to go on NIM first, because if you can get him in arc with those harpoon missiles, and you already got the lock from long-range scanners, you can take focus. You have got a full modified harpoon shot on NIM, and that's gonna hurt. But I guess Mark has his tactics to avoid that.
But of course, since the other 2 ships from Mark are only PS1, I don't think NIM can take out one squadron veteran in single volley.
No.
So those missiles will go off if nothing funky happens.
Yeah. The only thing I could imagine is if he can get a bomb on one ship with trajectory simulator from NIM, another bomb with trajectory simulator from Crimson Squadron, then a harpoon missile, then one row's gone.
Yeah, but it really has to pan out. But that depends on what their flight in the first couple of rounds is going to be, and that again depends on where the asteroids are going to be. So it is, especially in this matchup, quite important where they go.
Yeah.
Well, basically in every matchup, but
especially in this one, yeah, I agree with you in that. And as we have seen in the last game, everything is possible.
Yes, definitely. But we have 3 asteroids and 3 cluster fields, or debris fields. So that's an interesting choice. Who brought what? Did you see?
Actually, no, I didn't.
But since Marco is shoving in his asteroids, I would guess that the debris fields are marked.
Yeah.
Who has initiative?
We wait. Daniel, our streaming guy, who is directly at the table, is going to put that into the overlay with a small circle, and that's going to show us who has initiative.
So where's your money?
My money is on Mark.
Mark has initiative.
Yeah, Mark has initiative. Not because of the list per se, but I know that he can play it well. I faced him at the regionals in Münster, I played against him in round 3 or 4, I guess, and he played it really well. It's a strong list, and he managed to get into at least top 8 cut. I can't remember if he managed to get top 4 cut, but he's a good player. It's a good list, but I don't know Marco, so that's the only reason why my bet is on. And those rows can die pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Mark, when we asked him if he wanted to be on stream, said that he lost the first round, but I saw that his opponent was playing with the templates that you gain from Nationals, so that can't have been a bad player.
No, probably not.
It looks like they're going more with a wide pattern for their asteroids instead of deep. So I guess they want to break up formations and not necessarily have to worry about them later in the game.
Yeah, Marco's trying to keep it a little bit closer. He's putting another asteroid into range 1 of another asteroid. He's trying to sneak in with his small ships, and he probably doesn't want to give, especially the Crimson Squadron pilots, too much space to like go forward and launch the bombs with this trajectory simulator.
Although, of course, since NIM is so important to Mark, getting stress on NIM is much more important to avoid.
That's true, yeah.
So keeping the debris field in the middle, where Marco, of course, he cares, but not really, let's be honest. So that would be an advantage for him if he manages to get the fight in that direction.
Yeah. So it seems like Marco's keeping his rows in a box formation on his left side. Doesn't want to face the bomber directly. He doesn't want to joust them, which kind of surprises me. Maybe he's more afraid of the bombs than I thought.
Could be that he's just going forward and then K-turn at the end. Does that ship have a K-turn?
No, it does not. I think it does not. No, I'm almost sure it doesn't have one. You can.
That only has up to the 8th weight.
Okay.
So Marco put his ships in a square formation. What do you prefer, square or diamond?
Square. Because I played 4 skirks and flew them in a box formation. For me, it was easier to fly in formation in a box formation.
Have you heard of the offset box formation?
Like the diamond-shaped one?
It's not really diamond. It's like the top left one is slightly more forward and out, and then the top right one is where it is now exactly. The bottom right is slightly down and forward, and then bottom left is slightly forward and right.
So like this?
It's like an offset square, and that way, if you take a hard turn, if you take a bank, if you're in a perfect square formation, all the corners will overlap, meaning that you bump. Whereas if you take the offset box formation, the corners will actually go next to each other, and you won't have that risk.
Okay, you can fly same speed maneuvers with all ships.
Well, not same speed maneuvers, but normally if you take one banks, then you have a risk of corners hitting each other.
Usually if you have like a straight box formation like this one, with the ships on the outside, for example, if you go to the right side, the ship on the left side flies a 3 bank, and the one on the inside has to do 2 banks. So.
No, you still do that, but you run the risk if you have to not go exactly the way you want because there's an obstacle or you don't want to bump or whatever, that because they get put at a 45-degree angle and they're still next to each other, when you do the higher speed, that their corners end up exactly on top of each other, which of course is a bump.
Oh, I see.
Whereas if one is slightly forward and one is slightly back, and then for the other row slightly left and slightly right, then you don't have that issue.
And now I know that Mark has reached top 4 at the regionals, because I think those are the top 4 regional orange templates that he's using. I think.
From those 5 pixels there, it would appear to be the case. So, flying around the middle, well, that's to be expected against the formation. The only question is, do they want to meet in the middle, or do they actually want to overtake each other?
Maybe we see some play first around the asteroid fields. I don't think with either list that you want to like meddle up and split your ships too much when you go to the asteroid field. So there's no way to keep that box formation when you go through that asteroid field, or at least it's going to be very difficult.
Well, Marco has basically 2 choices here. He can go all the way to the top right and then turn in around that top right asteroid, or he says, yeah, forget about it and just go through the middle and then straight down. Just make sure that he misses that middle left asteroid and then ignore the debris field and just take the stress in later rounds.
Yeah.
But the question is, if he reaches that point of the map, are the opponents going to be in range? And that's always a gamble if you commit to a direction.
Yeah, the range game is going to be quite important here.
Yep. And although Captain Nim is nimble-ish, the bomber most certainly isn't.
Did you notice which ship Marco locked with his long-range scanners? I think it's Nim.
It looks like a lot of red target locks on Nim.
Yeah.
Then again, would you pick anything else?
No,
I mean, the
AP5
is pure support.
Yeah, like I said before, like Nim is at least your target priority here.
Yeah, because even if you take the bomber out with an alpha strike, you still have to catch Nim. Whereas if you take Nim out, the bomber isn't really going to go anywhere. And Carnus is saying that Mark played in the cut in the Minster regions.
Yeah, I know that he did play in the cut, but I don't know if he played top 8 or top 4. And I don't think, I think after taking a second look, that those are the third-party templates and not the top 4 cut templates from this year's regionals. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong many times before.
It happens. Well, Mark is sticking together.
It's top 8.
Top 8.
My eyes didn't fool me this time. Thanks, Sebastian.
So this round is going to be important for Marco. Is he turning in or is he going around? I would go around, I think.
Yeah.
Because then Mark has to come through the asteroid field regardless. Plus, he doesn't really lose anything if he takes a wrong gamble there, because then he just turns in the next round.
Yeah.
Whereas if he does turn in and it's wrong, then he has the asteroid right smack in front of him. Yeah, Kamorki, I agree with you there. This is like an Imperial patrol that hasn't actually picked up the enemy yet on the scanners,
Yes.
even though they have target locks all over the place.
But they have long-range scanners.
It's a false return! That's not a bomber, that's a cargo ship. However, Mark is picking the higher speeds, so he is catching up eventually.
Yeah. For him, like, it would be good to get behind those Roll Squadron veterans. They cannot K-turn, they can slam, but still, then he won't be, so Marco won't be able to get off his harpoons. I'm really curious what Marco's going to do here. If he's maybe like doing like a hard two to the right, get in the asteroid field. But like you said, well, probably he's not going to do it, but you never know.
What he could do is pick up high speed as well, at Marco that is, and then just slam around and make sure that you're clear of that asteroid that's a bit in the way at the moment.
Yeah.
And then for next turn he's all good. Imagine getting off that ion bomb in the middle of that formation. How cool would that be for Mark? That's basically a dream come true.
Yeah.
Then again, for all of his bombs. It seems like Mark is happy to let Marco dictate the first engagement, which I think he should do as well, because for Marco a mistake in positioning will be much more punishing than it will be for Mark. Should maybe call him Marco Red and Mark Blue or something to make the distinction a bit more clear.
Yeah, you have to emphasize the O maybe a little bit more. Marco.
Well, he is choosing to slam around now, although he's not turning in further. So possibly next round do a hard two and then slam another hard two, and then well, they basically swap sides.
Yeah, and then just go around the asteroid on the upper right side from when you look down on the map like this. And there's a nice lane in between that debris and the asteroid that you can go through maybe.
Especially since Mark ships will be a bit further up by the time he actually turned around, so he can swoop in.
Yeah, and he has to come that way, so on the left side, so which gives Marco a nice position. Marco told me, even though he's got like the German flag on next to his name, that his last name is Gonzalez, so his father is from Spain. Maybe we could refer to Marco as Spanish Mark and to Mark as German Mark.
I think it should be pretty clear.
Just fooling around.
Or we just pronounce it Spanish. How do you pronounce Marco Spanish? Marco?
Marco.
There we go.
Marco Gonzalez.
We have Marco and Mark.
Mark. German. Not Mark. Mark.
Mark. Yeah, this is basically what that offset square looks like. Well, ish. The one I was talking about earlier, to make sure that you don't bump the corners. So it is quite interesting how he ended up with it. Normally that's what you begin with.
Yeah. It was on purpose, I believe. But you're right, it's really interesting. It was like a perfect box now. All did the same maneuvers and totally looks like Squad Lot now.
Is he using acrylic maneuver templates or the paper ones?
Paper ones. cardboard ones.
The cardboard. There is more give in those.
Yeah.
And well, there you see a result of that. Also, the thicker the mat is, the easier it is to make slight depressions when you put your templates down. So you can nudge a little. Let's call it that in the interest of fair play.
So, as we can see, Marco is not... Marco. I see. Vale. So Marco is not deciding to go through that lane between the debris and the escort on the upper right side because he chose to slam to forward with his ships.
Well, a benefit of that is that he only has debris fields in front of him now.
Yeah.
So even if he goes through...
Yeah, and it seems to be that this was the right decision because as we could see before him, the bomber and turned a little bit inside, so that he's going to be inside the escort field, that he's going that way.
There's not much left of the box formation.
No, not at all.
But the difference, it's more than a ship base. And that's after 6-7 maneuvers?
Yeah.
That's really weird. Because that simply is imprecision. Because they all did the same moves.
Yeah, it looks sloppy.
It must be the stress from being on stream. Shaky hands.
Probably.
It is a thing.
Yeah, it really is. And maybe because like your hands are sweaty and the cardboard templates like they
absorb moisture.
Yes. And they get wider because of the sweat inside.
Okay, let's keep it PG here. But this is also how you get judge calls. Yeah, my templates, it's in range. Yeah, but on mine they aren't.
Well, if someone is measuring for arc or for range with his templates or with his rulers, and there are official FFG rulers, then there's nothing you can say about it.
No, obviously. Well, the only thing you can say is we'll both use the same set.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing you can do. Because when you sometimes see those cardboard markers that people have been poking in their ears with and took out belly button fluff and I don't know what, and they try to keep them upright and they just flop right over even though they're holding them. It's like, yeah, it's official and allowed. Yes.
So the rate rule, like those licorice.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost a whip. So it seems that Mark is turning in a bit now. I think he's anticipating Marco to make a move, which it looks like he is actually. So he's in a good position to throw his bombs if he picks the correct move.
Yeah, for next turn. He's probably going like
this
one bank with the Crimson Bomber.
Yep, and just shoot it out.
Oh, yeah, he has to shoot it before, so then it's the round after that, but still.
It looks like Marco is putting his target locks on the bomber instead of on Nim. Well, Nim is also a bomber, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it seems that he changed his mind. Do you think that's a smart move? The bomber is more likely to be in range. That's for
what
sure.
I was going to say.
Do you want to use your alpha on that?
I don't think so. Well, you can always reload your harpoon missiles, but it takes time to engage again.
You mean put the target locks back, or?
Yes, and reload your harpoon, put the target locks back somewhere else. Even if you fire up the first harpoons that you have on the bomber. with the reload action that the gunboats have. They reload their harpoons, have harpoons again, and then can shoot them off on another target.
But it looks like Nim is going for a flank move, probably to prevent exactly that from happening.
Yeah, which is quite, I think, which is a good move here. Use the bomber as a bait, especially now that he has switched target lock on the Crimson Squadron pilot, and get in from the side with Nim.
Well,
fire up harpoons.
Let's be honest, in this list, the bomber is bait. It's all about Nim. It's the Nim All-Star show.
Yeah.
A bit like we saw last game with the Inquisitor.
Oh yeah.
Shirano didn't have much to say about that.
One-man show of the Inquisitor.
This is, of course, the advantage that Mark has with flying against a formation. The longer you let it take, the sloppier the formation will be. And right now, well, one is forward, then two a bit in line, and one not even on the same arc.
It totally looks messed up, yes. So, when are we going to see the first dice rolling?
Next round? I don't think they're in range 3.
Not now, they're not.
I bet Mark is really happy with that debris field now.
I would be.
So, just setting dials. This is the round that really, really matters. Is the Alpha gonna take? Is the Bomber gonna shrug it off? Even Marco needs a drink for that.
So I'm just gonna check on the dial of the gunboat. So he's probably going one forward with the front one forward with the one behind, one bank with the far behind, and maybe two forward with the one next to the asteroid. Focus up and hope for the bomber to be in range.
I think the Bomber will be in range regardless. And I don't think he can go forward enough to actually prevent any mishap. That's the disadvantage of a large base.
Maybe the bomber stops. I think he has a red stop maneuver, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
That could be an option.
Especially since the AP5 can remove that stress next round. So he could stop again if he wanted to. But not if he bumps, I believe. Because he has to give the coordinate action.
Yes.
But then again, he can just go to the left.
But AP5 is facing in the other direction.
No, it's not in the same direction?
No, it's going like
It's going top left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top left.
Then it's no issue. Then the bomber can just stay where it is.
Yeah.
And Nim can go to town. However, did Marco anticipate that and maybe turn back to Nim? If he did, he has a bomb waiting for him.
Oh, the bomber's turning away.
He's not stopping. It's like, nope, this is my buddy. That's where I want to be. Is it a bump?
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, no, it fits.
By
Nice
at least
move.
2 hairs. Hello, Dreamster.
Hello. That's Max from one of the Rogue Squadron Moonstar guys.
Seems like Marco is doing what you thought he would be doing.
Yeah, I thought you would go 2 forward with the upper one, not just 1 forward, because he has the space for it. Okay, doesn't matter so much in this round because oh well, maybe it does.
Well, Nim still has to fly. And they're almost in formation again. That was a bump, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I don't think it's in range anyway.
Yeah. The 2 front ones might be.
Yeah, but they have their focuses.
Yeah.
That is out of range. That is in, I think.
It's barely out of range.
Was it out?
I think so.
Oh, that was the shadow of Nim, not the base.
Yeah.
Okay, next round. They're keeping it very exciting here, Mark and Marco. See the wheels turning in Marco's head.
Yeah.
Will I? Should I?
He's thinking very hard.
Whereas Mark seems to be very intense as well. Both players are standing and fidgeting a little. You can see that the tension is dripping off of them at the moment.
Yeah, next round is gonna count. So if Nim's not turning away, we should have some shooting.
Well, because of the way the bomber is oriented now, it can get out if it wants to. I mean, it doesn't have to throw bombs forward.
No, it does not. So is that a proton bomb that he dropped on that asteroid?
Well, the bomber dropped it, and he only has proton
okay,
bombs.
yeah, he just was from the bomber.
So I would assume so.
Yes.
Otherwise, something fishy is going on.
Yeah.
And both players know they are on stream, so no shenanigans there. Then again,
So, what can Marco do to avoid this proton bomb? Because that's gonna hurt. Otherwise, if he's going to turn in to engage with Nim, he's just gonna let that bomb where it is and not gonna let it explode.
Yeah, Nim is his primary target after all still. As I said, I'm not sure I would have swapped those target locks around, no matter how tempting a target.
Yeah.
That's the classic bait and switch again.
Yeah.
That's the same in a lot of games. If you allow your opponent to dictate the pace, you're playing his game. And most of the time that also means that you're running behind the fact. Or behind the bomber in this case. But next turn he won't be able to reassign his target locks because of that debris field in front of him.
Yeah, that's true. So my guess could be the 3 rows that are like almost in a straight line. They just go like 3 forward and try to get off a harpoon on the bomber, even without a focus. Well, you still have the target lock to re-roll the dice because you don't have to spend it for the harpoon.
What he could try as well is just go as far forward as he can and see if he can catch that AP5. Because that one isn't going anywhere probably. And that would also make him a bit more unpredictable for the bomb loads. Like if he picked 3 forward now, slam in, get some nice flank shots in.
Well, if you slam, you cannot shoot.
Yeah, but you're on his tail then.
Yeah, but do you really want to be exactly like on the tail of the bomber with his bombs? And
No.
he's got lots of bombs.
You want to be jousting with Nim, but we were talking options. Well, not at this moment because the target locks are wrong, but normally.
Okay, so he's going north with the first row. So let's see what the other ones are doing.
They're just taking it.
Okay.
Then again, he doesn't have many options at this point.
Yeah.
So this is basically best case scenario for Mark. Like the target locks are wrong, he can't reassign it because of the stress, and Nim can go to time. They're rolling for the damage now.
Yeah.
For the crits, I should say.
Yeah. No damage.
No damage. Second. I think that's still gonna hit.
Yeah.
Man, what a nightmare for Marco at the moment.
Yeah, that is not going his way, his engagement.
Did he bump on top of the asteroid or just before?
I think it was before.
Because otherwise, it's even more fun.
Did you roll for hit?
No, it's
So
a hit,
no.
and since it's a debris field, that doesn't do anything. Here comes Nim.
With the iron bomb. So
Nim did not want to joust.
no, maybe he's going to do a barrel roll to get out of range of his own iron bomb to, yeah.
Because he would also be in the arc of one of the Roro squadrons.
Yeah, he probably still is, but
At least it's more range
it's just
now.
like a two
Two red die.
two attack value die shot. Yeah. Would be interesting to see, to know, or will we see in a few seconds, if that roll is in range of the proton bomb.
Well, I think
They're gonna measure now, I guess. So the iron bomb's doing it's doing no damage. The iron bomb is not. The iron cannon is. So
Well, they
Seems
put
like the proton bomb is staying where it is.
Well, the ion bomb went off, and I think that's an ion token next to it, so that must have been arranged.
So we got 4 dice on Harpoon. I switched for target lock on him, but it's not too much done. So that was
No
two
range
shields on Nim. That's not too much from Harpoon. And we're back to dials. So I see that one of the Roll Squadron veterans has lost a shield. I don't know where that got. Where he did that.
From the ion bomb.
Okay. I thought
The
ion
top one.
From Sabine. You're right. I was thinking like ion bombs don't do damage, but Sabine does. Yeah.
She's like that.
What a peach.
No. Spicy lady.
Spicy lady, yeah. Sabine is really strong, especially if you have that many bombs in your list.
Even just for one bomb, she's almost a must-take already.
Yeah.
If you have the points.
Do you think Sabine is undercosted with 2 points?
I don't. I think it's more of a semi-fix for bombs. Because let's not forget that when Sabine was introduced, nobody played bombs ever. So it's like, yes, she's really, really good, but without her, bombs would be worse. So it's not like, is Sabine too good? It's more like, is Sabine plus bombs where it should be?
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the case. It's the same with long-range scanners. It was also meant as a sort of a fix for missiles.
Yeah, and guided ships.
So you can say yes, but it doesn't cost anything. Okay, that's true. So you would always take it if you can. However, because that one was ioned, of course it goes one forward, but then again, that was actually a pretty decent move for it this turn, so...
He's going to slam to avoid the proton bomb.
Nobody likes bombos.
No, especially not proton bombs.
Especially Sabine proton bombs.
Yes.
But what are the other 3 gonna do? Taking the long route, so that means that Mark has one of the row squadrons next to him that he can try to disintegrate at will almost.
I'm interested to see if he's going to switch the lock now on AP5. I know he's going to slam. Okay. Could bring him out of arc of AP5.
I think he wants to make sure that next round he can turn in without that bomb being an issue.
And Marco is breaking up formation more and more, which is going to be a problem for him in the end, is my guess.
By itself, it's not so much a problem, but the way he's doing it is that he is engaging with some ships, but not all.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It's not like he's going, like, coming from 2 sides with his ships.
Exactly.
He's disengaging with some of his ships.
It's not a functional breaking up, it's a dysfunctional breaking up. Because now, even when he wants to put down some hurt on ships, it will always be fragmented damage, meaning that Mark has the chance to just get the ship that's hit away from the action and denying the point.
Yeah. Dreamstar, I guess you're right. This was good play from Mark. Like I said, I knew that he's going, that he plays this list very well. And he did everything right up to now.
It's go around the asteroid field until the formation player makes a mistake or is forced to make a mistake. And yeah, that's basically what happened here. I mean, it's not like Marco could do it really much differently. That's simply what asteroids do to formations. That's another ion bomb at the top, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, because Nim dropped it.
Or it could be a thermal detonator, but I'm not quite sure.
Well, if you ion that Rose Squadron, then you know that next turn it doesn't have an arc either. Thus keeping it even more out of the game.
Yeah.
Is it trying to get range for the auto blaster turret?
I think it's a thermal detonator. I'm gonna have a look.
Check if he has range 1 on the auto blaster turret now as well. The bomber seems to be in range 1 as well.
It's a thermal detonator.
Boom.
And doesn't seem to be range 1. But I couldn't figure that out. I didn't want to interrupt them or anything.
Well, I don't see any shields taken away, so...
So, and as you can see now, the Rose stressed from the thermal detonator. Got 1 damage. Probably got 1 damage from the Sabine. And it's now... It's got 4 hull left. So proton bomb goes off.
Stun pilot crit on the Rose Squadron, that was it. Is it range 1 for the auto blaster? I think it is.
And it was just a crit. But he doesn't evade it.
And because he doesn't have shields anymore, it's a crit.
So I got stunt pilot on the row.
Yeah, this is basically perfect for Mark. Engage only one of the enemy ships, the others are somewhere.
Yeah.
And right now those Rose Squadrons are like, hey, it wasn't a freighter, it was a bomber after all. Seems like the first game is already done here in the hole. It must have been quite a massacre.
Yeah, I think it was. There was even one before.
The second crit was an injured pilot. So that pilot is not feeling too well. Then again, would you with only 1 hull left?
At this point the crits don't matter, as long as it wasn't the direct hit.
Oh, it's even gone. Bomber got a damaged engine from that bomb earlier.
AP5's got... Does he got arc?
Been taking the laser, it looks like it.
Yeah, seems to be.
Or... They're picking up dice.
They're picking up dice.
That's not a good roll.
Well,
That's not a good roll either. No, every damage counts. Especially if you manage to get that Sabine out of the game. That's gonna help for sure. So if you were Marco here, what would you do?
Really difficult to say because of the way his ships, the gunboats, are positioned now. I probably would try first to get them a little bit more back together, and then to prioritize on one target, get as many harpoons off as possible, and take out one of the ships. The thing is, AP5 is not worth enough points to get him a win. So you should concentrate on one of the other ships. I still would go for Nim. I mean, there's still time. Nim only has 1 agility.
Well, the thing here, it's 23 minutes left. So if he has to re-box up first while taking fire, I think that will take too long. I don't think he can chance getting them together again. I think he will have to fly them as 3 separate ships now. However, as you said, if he goes for AP5, he's already 25 points down. AP5 won't cut it. He will need a second one for sure. So it's better to go for the second ship first to begin with, to take out some damage from the board.
And try not to lose another one of your own ships.
However, Nim is also only 44 points, and the chance of him not losing a second one is quite low.
Slim, yeah.
So he will have to get 50 points for sure, which basically means he has to get 2 ships. Which 2 ships doesn't matter. In 22 minutes, I don't think he can take and Nim and one of the other 2. Not the bomber and one of the other ones. And since Nim only has 3 hull left, it has to be Nim and AP5. But he still has all his target locks on the bomber. So that's a bit of a pickle.
You can say so, yeah.
What does damaged engine do again? No turns, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Or all turns are red? Because that makes Nim a lot more predictable. And since she was primary target number 1 from the beginning of the game already.
All turn Hanovers are red.
Yeah. But she doesn't have stress at the moment. And then again, if she turns in now, that asteroid is still there. So even though Merck managed to break up the formation before the big engagement, he still has to be really careful of just the solo pilots. Because if he loses Nim, it's game over in the other direction.
Yeah.
he realized that as well, and is turning in the bomber to run interference.
Yeah, to get him into play, to do more damage.
Like, he has to commit it now. And he's rushing AP5 towards Nim to make sure that those turns are still available, because with the coordinate you can remove the struts. Plus that bottom left row squadron will not really have a good shot now. If it can shoot at all, I think it would only be on the bomber, which Mark doesn't really care about at this point. Or would that be in firing arc now? I don't think so.
You mean if the gunboat has the bomber in arc?
Yeah.
I guess, yes. In arc? Yes.
No, not the bomber. I mean the AP5. Because that's what he wants to shoot. He doesn't want to shoot at the bomber.
Oh, you mean AP5? Probably not. It's probably going to slam. No? Yes.
Well, he should. He's not doing anything there. It's basically... Has it done anything this game?
I don't think so.
That gunboat is going hard for Nim, but Nim still has to move. So I don't think that will be an arc. Unless he's still trying to get that bomber after all.
So what's Nim doing?
Dropping a bomb just for the hell of it.
Definitely seems to think about it. Don't think it makes much sense here because the gunboat next to him is going right next turn.
Yeah, he's only his own ships would be in the path of that. He's thinking about something, so apparently it is still on his mind.
He's reaching for something.
He's keeping us all in suspense here.
Tension.
I think he's flipping. He flipped something. I have no idea what. Ah, there comes the bomb.
The iron bomb.
Will he have enough points if Nin dies in half the bomber? Let's see, that's 17. 71 total. So he would need a third row squadron then.
So target blocking to get as much damage as possible with his auto blaster turret.
You want those hits? Basically a matter of can Marco get some strikes off or can Mark keep evading that. I think that will be the deciding factor here.
Yeah, I mean, Mark has to keep Nim out of arcs as much as possible. He's probably going, I don't know, like maybe he's going fast next turn with Nim, and then to keep Nim safe, because Marco probably won't be able to shoot down the Crimson Squadron pilot.
I'm not sure if you want to race out with Nim here, because if you leave the bomber to those three, you give up half points for sure. And by the time one of those has a proper arc on Nim, you're also a few rounds shooting further while you're dropping bombs on top of him.
Yeah, you're right.
Because if he can get that row squadron on the top right out of the game, because he still can shoot this round as well, then half the risk is gone again. It's a calculated risk. Do you want to take it?
So if the gunboat on the upper right side next to Nim is going to turn in right for Nim next round, he's definitely going to eat a bomb again.
Exactly.
Just under 14, that was 1 minutes remaining rounds.
Plus, if the gunboat wants to turn in for either the AP-5 or the other bomber, that bomb is still lying there, so he will eat it then.
Yeah. But for the bomber, it will be okay. We just go one forward. No, it's a thermal detonator, right? So you get a stress, you get 1 damage.
Well, it looks like the bomber went to a half health already, so he's giving up points there. Together with structural damage.
So
this is the auto blaster turret, I think? Or what are we throwing for now?
guess so. So nothing happened.
Oh no, that was the prime shot from.
Okay.
So the bomber gave up half health, but he still needs either NIM or something else.
Mark, I think, has been asking how much time is left for this round.
12 minutes. That's too much for time play. The bomber has 12 hit points total, normally, right?
Yes, he does.
Like 9 hull and 3 shields, I believe?
Yeah.
So that is half points. That's 17.
He has to be really careful now. If Nim dies, then Mark's probably not going to recover from it.
Yeah, only Nim gets to shoot before the row squadrons. So if he gets 2 or 3 arcs on the bomber, then he can go for full points there, and it cannot shoot that round, which is, I think, as important as the points itself at this point.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Nim will be able to finish off those last 4 holds in this round without help from the bomber.
Did you manage to find the fanfic now?
So is Mark taking the risk and keeping Nim in? Or is he giving up the bomber, hope AP5 doesn't die, and get Nim out of the fight?
I think he's maybe trying to get around that asteroid somehow. So with just a hard turn from the gunboat, and if he's like banking and barrel rolling inside, he can keep out of arc from the gunboat, and maybe you can get to range 1, doing more damage with the auto blaster, not getting shot, dropping a bomb first, doing more damage.
He only has one bomb left though.
Yeah.
So it has to be on target.
Well, you can. If it's not, then you can still have it lying there and blocking away for maybe one of the other gunboats.
Yeah, but then the other bomb will go off. And that's right on top of the bomber.
Who already is into hull, yeah.
Exactly.
That's the problem here.
And that will take another hit from that left gunboat. Or should. Well, the bomber has enough bombs anyway, so might as well throw some out.
Yeah. Why not?
It's fireworks. Just in case, you know. And is he attempting to block that?
Yeah. Smart move, in my opinion.
Make sure it cannot shoot you, and then you live, because the other one won't be able to do 6 damage. Plus, the AP5 will have a nice shot on it. Depending on where it goes exactly, of course. But nope, he does not want a shot. He just wants to stay safe. Make sure that that left gunboat doesn't have a shot.
Oh, I forgot that AP5 also has bombs. Bombs everywhere.
Well, only one will stay after the end of this round. What do you think? Should he detonate the one under the bomber? Provided that the gunboat is in range, obviously.
I don't know. I mean, with 6 hull, I don't know which gunboat it is. If it's the one that has
the 4-hull one.
4-hull one. So 1 damage from the thermal detonator plus 1 from Sabine does hurt the gunboat more than 1 damage on the Crimson Squadron. So why not? Why not? I probably will take the risk.
Well, it is 6 minutes, so 1 round more. If it lives this shooting phase,
yeah, hard to tell.
plus that gunboat top left is not the one with the target lock. He's slamming with the bottom one, trying to get it into the game, at least 1 round, all the way at the end.
Yeah.
I think when they dock in their hangar again at night, all the others are going to look at him and say, well, gee, thanks you were there. Good job, rookie.
You're the man.
0 hits taken, excellent flying.
Squad leader.
No, Nim is getting out. He does not want to risk that shot. Even though that puts him in range of the second one again. At least, maybe. What do you think? Is that in range? The top left gunboat? Does that have a shot on them? If so, that might hurt.
So as you could hear the announcement, 5 minutes left in this round.
He's letting the bomb detonate, it seems.
Yeah.
Was AP5 in range? I don't think so.
We will see. Yes, ion bomb.
Yes, it was. Then again, it didn't really matter on AP5, I think. Did he not use Sabine for damage? Because it's still on 4 hull. There it goes to 3. And the other bomb hits both as well.
But they don't get damage.
Still, Ion must feel good now. 'Cause now he knows what to do with Nim.
Especially for the bottom one.
Then again, Nim is flying straight into them next round. I'm not sure he's all too happy with that slam now. Or slam, barrel roll.
Yeah, next round is going to be crucial. So,
now 3 minutes. It's going to be the last one.
yeah. Did they shoot already? I don't think so, right?
No, it's been bombs only so far.
Yeah.
But now they're going for it.
So, looks like someone is.
They're discussing something. Oh, judge being called. It's the question if it was bumped or.
State card.
Sorry? Does the condition trigger?
It was destroyed before the condition could trigger, I think. Let me just go let me grab my...
Oh no, German cost. Okay.
They're talking about the harpoon condition, I think.
Ja.
Ich meine, das kann hier noch interessant werden.
If that triggers before
Ich meine nicht, weil die erst
it's blown up or
danach
not.
ist.
Yeah, sure, but if the ship already has a token, it explodes. Yeah.
Explodes and dies.
Yeah.
But he has no. Yes, no harpoon. He's not a harpoon. Now he's destroyed by a harpoon. But before, it is not harpoon.
If this takes long enough, there won't be a next round. So it's all going to be to this.
When do they get the harpoon condition? Before damage or after damage?
I see. Because the roll died, gets the harpoon condition, and they're discussing if it triggers so that the bomber, which is in range 1 of the dying roll squadron, will deal the damage.
And apparently it was ruled that he does.
Dann darfst du. Ja, auf wen willst du? Bomber oder?
Or does not.
So he's shooting on the bomber with
Passt auch in die
the 1.
Okay, so the row squadron was harpooned and destroyed now by the bomb. And the question was whether the harpoon damage would go on the bomber or not.
So 2 eyeballs for 2 hits.
Durch Reichweite ein? Ein weniger durch den Crit. 2.
It's 2 damage on the bomber.
Because of his crit, he takes 1 less defense die.
Slammed ist.
Er, glaube ich, ist nicht im Winkel, ne? Nein. Er darf aber noch in Reichweite 3.
And the bomber is shooting.
Range 3 shot, so an extra green.
Ja, da kann man so liegen.
Crit.
Can't complain there. Aye.
Just 1 of 8.
Hier ist Schild.
1 shield gone.
So we
Time has been called.
won't have another round, like you predicted.
Dann hat er gesagt, Runde ist vorbei. Da war ja noch eine Zeit, ne? Ist die Zeit vorbei?
It's 17 to 25.
Das ist die zweite Mal.
So, that's game. Mark won that game with 50 points to 17 points.
25. Oh, 50.
Erstmal gegen
50 to 17.
Yeah.
So even if the bomber had died after all, it still would not have mattered.
Yeah, because Mark managed to kill another one of the Row Squadron veterans.
Yep, he needed him
Good.
because AP5 didn't even get damage up.
Yeah.
I'll ask them to come over for an interview.
Yeah,
Which
that
one
would
do
be
you
great.
want first?
Good. Yeah, let's have Mark.
Marky, you?
So we will get one of the players now for an interview. Want to say hi? So I've got someone watching here. So, say hi.
Hello,
Where are you from?
Belgium.
You're from Belgium. You're playing X-Wing here today. Cool. How old are you?
30 years.
And how did the games go for you?
Now I have 2 losses, but it's normal for me. But I can also play.
Yeah. So, but you're having fun. That's most important thing. Thanks, and good luck for the rest of the games. So, hi Mark.
Hi.
Congratulations on your
Thanks.
win. Yeah, tell us a little bit about how did you experience that game?
Yes, at the beginning it was very interesting because no one wanted to attack, no one.
Yeah, there was a lot of circling around the asteroid
Yes.
field.
And then maybe with the bomber I had the chance to get him to push to me, and then I make another turn with the bomber
Yeah.
to avoid his attacks, and that works fine. And then his swarm, his squad was split.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
you split
I think
them up.
that was my advantage to win that game.
Yeah, I think that was a good move. He turned the bomber in, then he switched the target locks on your bomber, and we said, okay, fine, I'm going to do my thing with Nim, going the other way around and turning the bomber away. So that was, I think, a good move. But it got quite exciting still in the end, even though you had the upper hand, because there was still a chance. Nim was down to 3 hull, I guess.
Yeah, 3 hull, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I saw that when I make nice moves, he can't attack Nim.
Yeah.
That was fine. Okay, Nim had to eat 2 harpoon missiles. There was one a bit lucky, could be more damage for the harpoons. And the third harpoon hits the bomber. For the whole game, just 3 harpoon was fired by him.
Yeah.
Works fine.
Yeah, that's true. Good. Yeah, thanks for your insights. Good luck again, and for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, thanks. I hope. I need another win.
Yeah, see you around. This is for you. Some of our
Thanks.
cards.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Welcome. Bye. So let's see if Marco is available. So, and then we have Marco here.
Hi.
So, didn't go as planned, maybe?
Yeah, I have one or two moves I should have done a bit differently. I should have kept the target locks on Nim in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was a clear mistake. And later on, I don't know.
Yeah, we thought
not
as
really
well,
sure.
like one crucial moment was when he turned his bomber in. You switched the locks on the BSF, and yeah, you took the bait that probably Mark set up for you, and he's turning his bomber away, going with Nim the other way around.
Yep. After I tried to bait him around the table.
Yeah. So, do you think there were other things where you thought, okay, this should have gone differently?
I don't know.
So basically, the switching the target lock.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest mistake, because Nim did most of the damage except for the bombs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for your insight, and good luck for the rest of the games, for the tournament. And this for you, our self-help group card. Take care. Good, and we will be waiting for the next pairings, see what we're gonna have up on stream for the next round. Until round 4, so for round 1, 2, 3. We don't usually look at the top tables. So for stage 1, we're gonna look at the tables, so want to see, okay, this player is interesting, or especially like the lists seem to be interesting, so that we don't have like, I don't know how many ghost fan lists on the screen. And after round 3, so for stage 2, we're gonna concentrate then on the higher tables, to top tables, table 1, table 2, and gonna see the top players play. All right. Then we'll do a short break, and we'll be back with round 3 in probably 10 to 15 minutes.